Again, we'd all echo the remarks about your service, Admiral Olson. Certainly be missed. When we were talking about a lot of discussion about the withdrawal of troops in Afghanistan, I will say this, that occasionally when the President talks about that, he talks about conditions on the ground, so I'm not sure just what's going to happen, what these timetables are, but I would say this. I've had the opportunity going all the way back to fall of 2003, when it happened to be the Oklahoma 45th, was over in Afghanistan helping the ANA to train themselves. And they were doing really a great job. But each year when we go back and see it, we see this improvement in training. And I think this really has to be recognized, because the last time was when, I don't see Senator Hagan there now, but she and I were there spending New Year's Eve in Afghanistan and had a chance to go down to the Kabul Military Training Center. And it's almost like looking at a training center here in the United States. I'm talking about the separation between artillery and infantry, how they're doing it. We had individual interviews with interpreters where just at random we'd select people, and the enthusiasm they have for their quality of training. So I see that just really great improvements in the quality of training over there, and that was just my personal observation. General Mattis, are you as excited about that as I am?
Sir, the success of this last year, especially as we see the Afghan forces coming of age, very much is depending upon the training, the superb training, and it's going exactly as you say. We now have metrics in place where we measure them, and then we're seeing the improved capability in the field. But it has got to be the enemy's worst nightmare.
Yeah, I would say that's true. And when we talk to these individuals, they want to be career and all of that. I looked at when I saw the position that the Egyptian military is going to be in this new transition or whatever we're going into right now, I was somewhat pleased with it. And one reason is that I've been a staunch supporter up here, probably the most staunch supporter of the IMET program and what it's meant. Well, with Egypt, it even goes further, because we're talking about 3 decades now that they have done this. And so my feeling was that one of the great benefits of the IMET program is that it develops a relationship between the military of other countries. And I've seen this throughout Africa and elsewhere, and that's why we've been wanting to expand it. So I felt pretty good about that, and I would like to, I noticed that in the 2010, our Egypt IMET program was at about $2 million and dropped down about to 1.5 in 2011. I'm trying to get the figure now as to what's requested for 2012. But I would like to get you on the record on your feelings about that program, and both of you, actually. The IMET program and how much that has benefited us, and particularly with the situation right now as it is in Egypt.
Senator, I think the IMET program is a strategic asset to us, where we bring those officers to our country. They go through training and education here. We then go on joint exchanges with them back in their country, exercises and all, and we see it pay off there. Yeah. But there's a longer-term payoff, and that payoff is when I walk into a room as a brigadier general and back in 2001, and the first discussion I have with a half-dozen officers is them telling me the best year of their life was in Maxwell Air Force Base or in Leavenworth, Fort Leavenworth, and we immediately start from a position of common understanding. I think this is a strategic asset to us that we should certainly maintain full support for.
All right, I appreciate that. Do you echo those sentiments, Admiral Olson?
Absolutely, sir. You can sign me up as a member of the IMET fan club. I was in a position long ago, a part of the implementation team of IMET in Tunisia, and that country was particularly well served by IMET. Yeah,
we were just a couple of days ago with Prime Minister Netanyahu. He's referring to the earthquake that's taking place right now. And when Senator Lieberman was talking about the commands, it occurred to me that when we were in Stuttgart, we were with EUCOM and AFRICOM, and yet CENTCOM is, you got 3 coms really right now that are dealing with this problem. Are you guys all talking to each other, and you feel there's no problem in that you're dealing with an earthquake that's taking place in 3 commands?
So we have a very close working relationship, and there is strong collaboration between us.
Yeah. Admiral Olson, we also had the opportunity of spending some time in Djibouti, and Admiral Losi, I guess it was, spent quite a bit of time with us, and was certainly impressed with what they're doing there. And then when I look at your statement, and you talk about, I'm reading now, it says, we now total close to 60,000, about a third of whom are career members of Special Operations Forces, meaning that they have been selected, trained, and qualified to earn the military occupational specialty or skill code identifier of the SOF. Now, that would be a third of the 60,000. Tell me a little bit about the other 2/3 that are not included in this category.
Yeah, so they're the full range of enabling technical supportive capabilities, engineers, logisticians, administrators, intelligence analysts, maintenance crews, and the like that make the rest of it all possible. We are a broadly capable force. We do have our own airplanes, our own helicopters, our own boats, our own mini submarines, and so this requires a supporting crew that has to be quite expert as well.
Well, and we're concerned about your resources that you have, because we know what your mission is and what you have been able to do. And is everything going all right in terms of retention and recruiting?
Sir, the recruiting is good. The recruiting has been pretty consistent over the last decade, even consistent across the 9/11 attacks. Retention has been pretty good. It has been above the service averages in almost every category.
Which is very good, too.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We are beginning to see at the mid-grade levels, sort of the 8 to 10 years of service point, a slight leveling off of the retention.
All right, thank you. My time's expired, but if you maybe for the record could elaborate a little bit on your numbers that you have right now as you look into the future, and how this, whether the 60,000 is going to be increasing, and if that's going to be adequate, for the record.
Sir, for the record, in my opinion, it is adequate. I believe that the key to special operations capability beyond our current numbers is mostly in terms of supporting special operations from the much broader range of capabilities within the department, with habitually assigned units that are timely in their response, that understand what special operations is and how to support special operations requirements. I'm calling this the Special Operations Force Generation concept, and working with each of the services and how they can contribute to that, and how we can contribute to their force generation cycles as that's appropriate. The specific answer to your numbers question is that, and I'm on record before this committee now in 3 previous years, as saying we ought not to grow more than 3 to 5% per year in our manpower, because of the quality that we need to maintain as we do that, and we're projected to do that for the next 3 or 4 years.
That's good. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Inhofe. Senator Nelson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And also, let me add my appreciation, Admiral Olson, for your